Hi, my name is Neb Kamusen Atumre, and this video is entitled Tehuti and Khnum, God in the flesh. Do you really worship your Creator? In this video, we will elaborate a little more on the phrase, we worship our Creator, that is used worldwide. This affirmation is taken from this scroll, The Secret Wisdom of the Grand Hierophant Tehuti, starting on page 3, which states, I, the Grand Hierophant Tehuti of the ancient Egyptian order, take great pleasure in presenting this corrected doctrine or document of a most misunderstood and underappreciated doctrine. It was presented as the Kabbalion, when in fact the Kabbalion, it was a pure interpretation by the Hyksos Canaanites of what they wished the great Hierophant Tehuti Thoth's work for the world were about. And the onlookers were misinformed in order to sway the true seeker from the right path to the blinding light of European belief systems. And the secret doctrine were all but lost. However, this scroll work is based upon a resurrection of the world-old teachings of the Egyptian Grand Hierophant, known by many names, Tehuti, presented to you in this day and time via an incarnation, a wish on the part of the original. Do you follow? The original Tehuti wished to incarnate in this day and time. So this is Tehuti, the original in a new body. Do you understand? So this is presented to you in this day and time via an incarnation, a wish on the part of the original to have this record set straight. He Tehuti sent and signified it through myself. I have been known by many names. Amun, Nubi, Ra, Kapata, Isa el-Hadi el-Mahdi, el-Mukhlis, el-Mujaddid, Ilah Mutajassida, el-Qubatu, Melchizedek, el-Khidr, Marduk, Chief Black Eagle, Malachi, and finally back to Amun, Nibu, Re, Akhtar. Did you catch that? First he said Amun Ra, and then he said Amun Re. Let's continue. In the depictions and drawings of Tehuti, on the walls of the tombs. And monuments in Tamare, Egypt. You see in Tehuti, drawn with a green hue, which is what the Muslims refer to as al-Khidr, again stemming from Egypt. They are all the same, with different names in different cultures. I am who I am. Originally named either Dijihuti or Zihuti by Patamarei, the Egyptians. Tehuti Thoth was given his better known name by the Greeks. They linked him with their own god, or Thehos, deity, supreme being, Hermes, Greek. He became the son of Zeus and Maya, and Zeus was the son of Kronos and Rhea. None of this is true. They just took this Egyptian and tried to make him theirs and change his teachings. And this Hermes was considered to be the Greek Thehos deity, supreme being of wisdom, writing, and invention to the Greeks. They got their word Thehos from the Egyptian supreme being Theoris or Thoiris, a goddess of women in childbirth, protectress of babies. This is the word used in your Bible, New Testament, in the Greek for God, Thehos. Tehuti was the messenger and spokesman of the Nitirat, supreme beings, as Tehuti. And finally, a lunar Nitir, supreme being under the sun god Re, Ora. You can see the Greek word Thehos came from the hieroglyphic Cuneiform word Tehuti Thoth. The worship of Tehuti dates from the pre-dynastic period, which itself dates back before 10,500 years. Allow me, Nebkamu Senatumre, to repeat that. The worship of Tehuti dates from the pre-dynastic period, which itself dates back before 10,500 years. And his standard appears on artifacts of this time. And his name, Dijihuti, indicates that he originated in the Heptiad or nomes of Dihut in Lower Egypt. He is represented as a man with the head of an ibis bird, which is often crowned by the crescent, moon. The baboon is also sacred to him, for in Khiminu, Hermopolis, he merged with the local baboon Nitir, Hediju Weir. According to the Simat, funeral priests, and the Wabat, spiritual priest of Khiminu, Hermopolis, it was Tehuti, Thoth, in the form of an ibis, who hatched by the power of his word alone the word egg, from which all creation issued. Other stories relate that in the chaos of Nun, he awoke from eons of slumber and opened his mouth. Opening his mouth issued the first word, the first sound, Khnum. This original sound assumed form and became the first 8 beings, 4 Nitirtat, God's supreme beings, and 4 Nitirad, 4 Nitirad, God's supreme beings, and 4 Nitirtat, goddesses, supreme beings. The Rashunat, Ogdoad, who represented the elemental forces that issued before the creation. The Big Bang is not a Big Bang, but rather a Kun, which became the sound Amun. Some say Aum, Amun, and Aun, nature, and of course Min, with the staff of life, the 2-ball cane. Thoth was the Greek renderance of the Egyptian hieroglyph Tehuti, scribe of the Nitirat, and personification of divine intelligence, thus patron of learning and literature, as I said, speaking, meaning people, me speaking, meaning the versatility and mastery in his manipulation of the English language results in literary works of art as the sacred wisdom of the grand Hierophant Tehuti. The holy tablets and many, many other scrolls, which humbles John Public into resignation and defeat with the hapless response, I have no comprehension. I have no comprehension of what is being conveyed here. The supreme being of literature. Y'all know exactly what Nebuchadnezzar is speaking about. Now let us continue. He was wrongly equated with, or as Hermes by the Greeks, who also was part Hyksos from Japheth's son Javan, Genesis 10:2 of the Torah. The Hebrews proved that the Greeks were also from the Hebrew, by way of Noah's son Japheth, whose son was Javan, or was Ionian, which is Greek, found in Strong's Greek and Hebrew lexicon, number 320, Yavan. So the Hyksos were Hebrew and Greeks. Tehuti Thoth uttered the words commanded by Re, the words commanded by Ra that created the world, which was Khnum. There you have it, people. Tehuti created the world. Can we agree on that? The chief site of worship of Tehuti Thoth was the city called Khnum, Hermopolis by the Greeks. So once again, Tehuti was worshipped. Are you with me? I, Nebuchadnezzar Atumbre, am reading Tehuti's own words. There in Khnum, Tehuti Thoth was called master of the city of 8. The Ogdoad. This referred to the 4 pairs of primordial supreme beings called night, obscurity, secret, and eternity. These shadowy beings are portrayed with the heads of frogs and serpents. That is, they were in deeds and actions human reptilians. They symbolize the very first stage of growth called creation, as it merged out of the mud, formed by the union of heaven and earth, air, water, and dirt. Tehuti Thoth is portrayed as an ibis-headed human figure. Or sometimes as all ibis, which is considered his theophany. That is a man wearing the ibis bird mask. This is due to the ibis's reputation of devouring serpents, and all because of its aquatic lunar habits and nature. Tehuti was intimately connected with a variety of lunar functions relating to the cycles of time, measure, and movements. As divine scribe, Tehuti Thoth is frequently encountered in the judgment scenes, recording the verdict returned by the balance, or in temple friezes, recording the deeds of the rulers into eternity. Tehuti Thoth is the recorder who keeps the records of our deeds and thoughts. The Nebu Lord of divine words, or words of power, the thrice great. Yes, people. In AEO, he gives us invocations. They are in the scroll here, which can stimulate a profound protective force on all levels of human activity and help set into motion a process of transformation of the individual from human to superhuman. Yes, he gave us that. Also, in the scroll, invocations to uplift the consciousness into realms of mental and supramental activity that ranges far beyond the physical, and more invocations, too numerous to mention. Also, an entire guidance from the Master's publication entitled The Magic Word of Ra, Words of Power, from the Lord of Divine Words. Let's continue. As you know, Tehuti, he is the recorder of time. He is the recorder of time as Khnum. As you know, Tehuti, he is the recorder of time as Khnum is the keeper of time. Netir, supreme being of learning, right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding, giving both information and outformation. Again, associated with the moon, he is called Neb Shil En, which is Cuneiform, meaning master of heaven. Nefir Shil Ushad, beautiful of night, and Saket Bashur, silent being. From Chiminu, Hermopolis, he is sometimes seen as the dog-headed ape in rituals symbolizing the lone nature of man and mankind. He was the master teacher of priests and physicians and looked on at the creation of mortals. That would make him a creator, wouldn't it? Master inventor of magic. Are you listening, people? He was also with Haru. Horus as the healer of both Thoth, Seth, and Haru's wounds in the battle between good and evil. As your Torah, Bible, and Quran would have you believe that Thoth was not evil as Haru was not all good. They both had will to be agreeable or disagreeable. Tehuti is the supreme being of peace and love between beings. Through wisdom, you will find peace and love between disagreeable beings. Right knowledge of self and others frees you from hate and prejudice. Right knowledge or right wisdom frees you from blindness about your past. Right understanding frees you from hate of self and teaches you love of self and kind. Tehuti was the Natir, supreme being of writing, hence the many scrolls and publications. Science, medicines, and formulas. He was the secretary of the Nitirat. He invented alchemy. Are you listening? He assisted mortals by writing many works of science. Now, people, can you even begin to wrap your mind around this concept? He is the supreme being, the God of science and medicine, the master teacher of physicians and priests. So, he would have already had the cure for the condition called angioedema. He is the God of science, like the science of cloaking. Hence, he is able to hide 8 additional massive heavenly bodies that have entered into our solar system, which in appearance now seems to be 4 to 8 times more massive than our moon. Yet all you see are cloudy, normal, everyday skies when you look up. He wrote an entire scroll in 1995 called "The Mystery Clouds Are the UFOs," explaining how these advanced visitors from other galaxies have the ability of cloaking their planet-sized ships, crafts, hovercrafts, flying saucers, whatever, however you want to call it, in or as clouds. Without the right knowledge, you won't know what you're looking at. All you see is normal cloud-filled skies as you go about your daily chaotic, monotonous lives. Chemtrailing is unnecessary, Conan. The crafts are already cloaked. The planets, the crafts are already cloaked. These visitors are not exhibitionists, are not the exhibitionist you think that they are, King Kong. Holy Tablets chapter 1, tablet 5, verse 39 states, the Grand Mothership Nibiru has solar panels that are the size of a pin's head, or less than that, and can generate millions and millions of megawatts of energy as well. As Nibiru passed by various suns, you know, like our sun, or stations set up in the galaxy, Nibiru drew an energy charge from them, unquote. So Nibiru is draining our sun, Steve. However, the God of science can replicate our sun so that that drainage doesn't affect us here on planet Earth. Earth's agencies, Earth's space agencies are eons away from that technology, WSO. Great observation though. So let us continue. So Tehuti assisted mortals by writing many works of science, in particular books on solar biology and astronomy, mathematics and medicine. Pay attention. 46 records of his are kept secret from the hands of the beast men, the evil ones. Tehuti was the keeper of the records of existence and destiny, and the time of the renewal of all history, like we are in now, which comes around every 24,000 years. Each cycle, each moment, each second, minute, hour, day, week, month, year, generation, jubilee, century, millennium, equinox, precession, epoch. Do you understand, people? This is how our Creator can inform us that September 9th, 1999 is the end of the 6,000-year moon cycle. Thus the end of the Canaanite Caucasian beast man's corrupt rule of death, destruction and chaos. That in 2019 the earth will advance to the mental plane, the new equinox. Tehuti came down from Septet, Sirius, and he also spent time in Sahu, Orion, and was a part of the Moon and Mars projects in the seeding of this planet. That would be a creator, wouldn't it? So, do you really worship your creator, people? Being a man from planet Roswa in the 19th galaxy called Ilium, he has no mother or father. Beginning of days, no end of days. He was also known as Melchizedek, El Khidr, Rahma, Yanun, El Qobat, and the spokesman for the deities. Along with his mask, of the ibis bird, which they use as a dove in other religions, born out of Egypt. He is crowned with a crescent moon, master of the moon cycle. All the beings created therein. This is why, excuse me, the Caucasoids worship him in their secret lodges and temples, which is also where the Muslim world get the worship and are following the moon for all their religious ceremonies from, like their Ramadan. Excuse me. The gods Allah and his wife Allah were moon or lunar gods of old Arabia. Allah being the sun or star, and Allah being the moon or crescent, called in the Quran light of the heavens and the earth. A whole chapter in the Quran is devoted to the sun, chapter 91, and the moon, chapter 54, and the stars, chapter 53, and even the zodiac, chapter 85. So they pray under the star and crescent. Just look at a Muslim mosque with stars and crescents on top of them. It also comes from Egypt. But the Jews, Hebrews, Israelites used the star for their God, Yahweh. YHWH. The baboon is sacred to him. For on earth at Khiminu, Hermopolis, he merged with the local baboon, Nitir, supreme being, Hedaju or Hedaju Wiru, the great white one, part of the seed of the beastmen, used in their graftation. So that would be their creator also, wouldn't it? So did you really capture your creator, Mr. Caucasian? Wake up, y'all. According to the Wabat priest of Khiminu, Hermopolis, it was Tehuti in the form of the ibis who hatched by the power of his voice alone, saying, be or exist. And the word egg, from which all creation issued, meaning he did the formula for the gene splicing for Khnum, meaning he did the formula for the gene splicing for Khnum, creator of the beings of this cycle, the moon cycle.